Welcome to 5 after midnight, where darkness is upon us, and so are those that lurk within its shadows. One.
Ever since my early 20s, I've been followed, so to speak. Noises, premonitions, oddities. After a while I got used to it and generally annoyed by it. I have many stories, and most of them are ghost-related. Back in 2005, I moved to Ontario into a house with my landlord and his girlfriend. It was a shared residence, and my room was in the basement. I was awake very early daily as my work shift started at 5:30. I remember being in the bathroom just after 4 a.m. when I heard footsteps coming down the stairs into the basement. I thought it was a little unusual. The hallway light came on, as seen from under the bathroom door. The steps continued on down the hall into the laundry room. I heard the clothes being loaded into the dryer, then the dryer turning on. I wondered who was doing laundry so early in the morning. Maybe my landlord forgot his work clothes in the washing machine. Once I was done in the bathroom, I opened the bathroom door. The second door was opened the tiniest amount, but there was silence. There was no hallway light on. The dryer was not running. I then realized that the footsteps never came back from the laundry room. I went to the laundry room to investigate. The dryer was empty. The dryer was hot inside like it had just been running. The first thing to cross my mind was great. It followed me all the way from Manitoba.
Two.
To this day, I have a memory that has never left my very existence. I live in the very beautiful New Zealand, and at the tender age of roughly 9 years old, my dad and I were traveling up the North Island. The route to this place was filled with rather sharp corners, cliffs, and an abundance of greenery. I had never traveled there before, and we were going around one corner in particular, and I was looking down the cliff as we were driving, as I usually do. As I was looking downward, to my horror, I was shocked to graphically see a terrible bus crash. Amidst this bus crash, I was able to see dead people who were dying, and I was able to see a woman screaming. It was almost like I could hear it, although I was far too high up to hear anything. I turned to my dad, surprisingly calm, and I said, "Dad, there's a bus crash." He looked down, but there was nothing there. He then proceeded to tell me that there was a bus crash about 40-odd years ago that was carrying a bus full of people. To this day, I will never forget that memory. A couple years back, a few of us were chilling at a mate's place. There were 3 of us sitting in his room, me, a friend, and the guy whose place it was. His bedroom is connected to the rest of the house by a short hallway, laundry and bathroom doors on the left side of the hall. Me and the friend both happened to need to go to the bathroom at the same time, so we walked out of the room into the hall just to see someone entering the bathroom. We didn't know who it was, we just caught a glimpse of them as they walked in and closed the door, but we naturally assumed it was his younger brother. So nothing out of the ordinary. Me and my friend are standing in the hall outside the toilet door having a chat, waiting for him to finish. After a minute or so, we realize we haven't heard any noise coming from the other side of the door. I call out his name and I get no reply. I knock on the door, no reply. We open the door to find it unoccupied. I just remember looking at my friend, sheer confusion on both of our faces. Later we found out that the brother had been out, It was only the three of us in the house, and the other guy had not left the bedroom throughout the incident. The toilet is one of those tiny cubicle-like rooms with just the toilet, no other doors or windows. This still keeps me up at night.
Four.
I was home alone watching TV, waiting for my boyfriend to come over. It was a really windy night. It was so loud. The front door had swung open, which was weird because it was locked and I wasn't expecting my boyfriend to be there for another hour. Without glancing at the door, I said, "Oh, you're early," and I heard a grunt in response. I was getting freaked out and decided to pluck up the courage to go investigate. No one was there, and the lock bar was still protruding from the door. Still to this day, I have no idea how the locked door swung open or where that grunt came from.
Five.
When I was maybe 5 or so, I was playing with my dog in my yard by this huge maple tree. Then this guy, who was about 100 yards away, yelled my name. He seemed mad, kind of like I shouldn't be there or I was doing something wrong. So I started walking towards my house. Then crack! Bam! I turn around in time to see this huge branch fall out of the tree and land right where I was standing. It was enough to cave in a house or smash a small kid and his dog. Being 5, I really didn't comprehend what had just happened. So I went inside to tell my mom, very matter of fact. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the show. If you have a story to share, send us an email, like us on Facebook, share, like, and subscribe.